All right, let's talk about these 31 new surveillance videos just released. Most all of them, I believe, are from November 13th, 2022. Bryan Kohberger was a busy little bee after the horrible crime he confessed to committing in Moscow, Idaho. So first off, thanks to Gray Hughes Investigates for sending me these surveillance videos. I know he spoke of requesting them. He told me about them, so I will hopefully remember to link to him below. So let's just start off. Wherever there is any audio, which most of these 31 videos do not have audio, but the ones that do, you will hear the audio playing. You might hear some birds outside on my bird feeder too, because I have the window open. I don't want to sweat like a crazy person. What's happening? Okay, Bryan Kohberger visited this 301 5th Street, Clarkston. It's Costco. So this was November 13th, 12:34 Pacific time. This would have been only hours after the murders. He's walking in casually to Costco. He's holding a bottle of water like in his right hand. I wonder if he's right-handed. A button-up shirt, it's like covering all the way up here. And granted, I'm sure it's probably kind of cold. Maybe it's November. And he has like Nike shoes on, they appear to be, and he has his pants on. His left hand is swinging loose at first until the clerk, the lady, stops him, like she must be asking for his Costco card. Does he not know you need a Costco card to, enter? Does he not have a membership? And, he's digging around in his left pocket as if he has a card, but he doesn't have one apparently. That's what I get from this video. He walks back out, he's drinking his water. So I will just explain each one and then I will play it raw. I took screenshots of the file names and overlaid them mostly below on each little video snippet to try and help even further explain what the heck we're looking at. We don't necessarily get a lot of information sometimes with these files that are given to us, but these are named pretty well. The naming convention is pretty great, so it helps. And some of these, you can tell up in the top left-hand corner on some of them, there is like a date time stamp. I don't know if all the times are accurate, set correctly, but I put them in order for the most part. The first part you're going to see is Bryan Kohberger and him, visiting Costco, visiting Albertsons, places like that. The ones at the end you will see are from basically around the times of his crime. They tracked him so many different places, like going to 1122 King Road, all around, Linda Lane and all that, and then going back home. So that's towards the end. But basically, all these raw videos I'm planning to put up on my Patreon on Friday, September 26th. Hopefully I can get this video up tonight, Thursday, that you're watching. And so by Friday, check the link to my Patreon and stay tuned for all the people who want the raw videos. People like to download the actual videos. I know people will be poring over these timestamps, just like they did the Linda Lane footage. Now we have all that raw footage and more I've never seen before. So basically, there is a point in here at 12:36 p.m. The documents say that Bryan's phone utilized cell resources that would provide coverage to that Kate's Cup of Joe coffee stand located in Clarkston, Washington. Surveillance footage from the U.S. Chef's store located in Clarkston, adjacent to Kate's Cup of Joe, showed his white Elantra driving past Kate's Cup of Joe. So I think that's what this 12:36 footage will be. So now at 12:38 p.m., looks like Bryan's driving away in the white Elantra. So different cameras captured him, and different ones might have different times, but still, I'm trying to set this up sequentially. And I still can't find out what Bryan purchased. I really just searched through a bunch of documentation I have. I can't tell what he bought. It just says unknown items from like Albertsons and Costco. He probably bought nothing from Costco. Doesn't look like he even got in Costco. Albertsons, he does go into it. 12:38 looks like he's driving away in the white Elantra, but by 12:46 Bryan's car arrives at Albertson's. Seems like we have two different surveillance video vantage points of his arrival. By 12:49, Bryan's seen walking outside of the store and then into the store. There's also footage of him walking inside the store at that time. We don't know, what he's back there getting, what aisle he went down, you can see. But by 12:56, Bryan's walking down the aisle. He's approaching either a cashier or a self-checkout and buying stuff. 12:58 a.m. Bryan walks to his car at 400 Bridge Street. This is Albertson's in Clarkston, parking lot east. You can see him carrying a bag, wearing his clothes, the same clothes. It's kind of like a lime, or not really lime green, but kind of like a light green or whatever, button up, all the way button up. I was trying to see if I can see any injuries on his hands. I'm sure people will be zooming in, and I'll see what I can find. So he's walking out, and then by 1:04 p.m., Bryan's car leaves Albertson's. Now, beyond that, I'm going to play these remaining surveillance videos. I'll play the remaining surveillance videos for you to just watch. A lot of them are silent. It sounds like the Linda Lane footage has some audio. I know people have poured all over that footage. You know, they think they hear certain things at certain times. So it has some timestamps there. So maybe you'll be able to kind of tell what's happening when you hear certain sounds. Now, before we dig all into that, I want to tell you really quickly, one thing that's gone viral, this post on Facebook, you know, my favorite Idaho 4 Reddit group had a post about this. I'll link to them below. They found in Canada on some Facebook group, "Hello, Hive Mind. I'm looking for a house that looks like this one." Obviously, it's the 1122 King Road house. So, of course, I went digging and I found out there is indeed a TV movie named The Idaho Murders. And apparently it's by the local production company PF Pine Productions. Naveed Sufi is producing it. The director is Stephen A. Adelson. The production manager is Celeste Crow. Production coordinator is Carrie Croft, and this location manager is Christopher James Jeffrey. I'm not sure if he's the one who's scouting, you know, of course, looking for locations. It will be filmed, you know, this guy Christopher, he's currently working on the Idaho Murders TV movie. He will be available October 28th, 2025. That's because the shooting schedule for this TV movie is from October 6th through October 27th. So basically, wow, just 3 weeks. There's a production address off Norland Avenue in Burnaby, Canada. All out west, gorgeous, I'm sure, location. Of course, it's cheaper to film in Canada in different locations, cheaper than Hollywood. So according to this film and TV production list of the UBCP, ACTRA, it's an autonomous branch of the Alliance of Canadian Cinema, Television, and Radio Artists. This movie of the week, Idaho Murders, will be filming during those 3 weeks. So that's it, basically a scripted TV movie depicting the murders of the 4 University of Idaho students. It'll be filmed in and around Vancouver, Canada, this says. We don't know the exact locations, but we can tell they're scouting for a white house that looks very similar to the horrific, infamous house. And it will focus on the deaths of Ethan Chapin, Kaylee Gonzalez, Xana Kernodle, and Maddie Mogan. So of course people are like, going off, and this is not apparently a documentary. There's been several documentaries that have already been released. You know, there was that Idaho Student Murders that premiered on Peacock, July 3rd, 2025. There was the One Night in Idaho College Murders 4-episode docuseries from Amazon Prime that came out soon thereafter, July 11th, 2025. Really good. It included interviews with the family and everyone based on the book The Idaho 4 by James Patterson and Vicki Ward. I just still need to even finish that book. I've got so much in the queue here, and I've got something coming I want to make a separate video about. Stephen Stearns, his total fears. We will get there. The Idaho College Murders, HBO Max apparently released a documentary. And then there's a TV special, the Idaho College Murders. Was that the same one? I don't know if that was the same one. And then there's Cyber Sleuths, the Idaho Murders, the Paramount Plus special. So now after all that, we'll have a TV movie. I know some people feel strongly against that. I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. I mean, it's inevitable. But basically, what I'm going to play next, that we've watched all of Bryan's little shopping spree, you think he would have been tired, or this boy was busy. You know, he's up late, driving all the way from Washington, down to 1122 King Road, performing horrible things. First, he's circling for nearly half an hour, whatever, going in the house, performing the horrible actions, leaving, driving back to Steptoe Village, his apartment. Then, you know, he's probably stayed up the whole time. Of course, he takes his selfie. He talks to his mom, 3 hours on the phone total that day? So he's yakking. He's just awake. He's probably all amped up, full of this horrible energy. And then, what was it, around 9-something a.m.? He's driving back around the area of the murder house. We don't know how close he drove to the murder house, likely trying to, view his handiwork. And then now we see he's off going to Costco, trying to get into Costco, driving near the Cup of Joe, Kate's Cup of Joe, driving again. He's over near Albertson's. He's in Albertson's. He's buying stuff. I'm like, when does this guy sleep? Okay, so now for the rest, I'll play this surveillance video for you, and I'm going to describe what you're seeing. You will see, an Indian Hills address, and there's all these different times, and I've put the times. I've put the addresses, and any times that are on the screen, you will see them starting at around 3:26 a.m. Just different cameras that captured him. They did a great job capturing his point of travel. 3:29, making sure I have these in order. 3:29, he's on Ridge Road, and I haven't mapped all these out, and we'll see all the Linda Lane footage. 3:29, 3:30 a.m., you'll see a Paradise Drive, 3:35 a.m., and you'll see just quick snippets. Some of these I couldn't even really see his car almost, but you will see. And we will see 3:43 a.m. Paradise Drive. I'm assuming this must be really close to the 1122 King Road house. Paradise Drive footage. Then the famous Linda Lane footage, 3:39 a.m. And then 3:56 a.m. again, Linda Lane footage. Then there's Ridge Road footage, 4:01 a.m. more Ridge Road footage, 4:05 a.m. Linda Lane footage. And then towards the end, I got confused. I was like, what is this? It's some Sunset Mart footage. So I had to go to the document because I had no idea what time. There was no timestamps, and one looks really light, so I don't know if this is really the right time for this. Per the document, all I could see is the approximate times of 5:25 a.m. are accurate, and it's claiming it is from November 13th, 2022. So it's him driving by that gas station. I think we had heard about this way early on, and people just were zooming in on the car, and some people were photoshopping Bryan at the driver's seat and all this crazy stuff. But now we see that Sunset Mart footage. So that's it. Let's close with 2 Chronicles 12:6. The leaders of Israel and the king humbled themselves and said, "The Lord is just." Thanks for watching all this. Stay tuned. Like I said, I will put the raw videos up on Patreon sometime Friday, so you can download them there if you wish. And I want to create a video about Stephen Stearns. I paid for info from his new jail, got that today. Interesting. A lot of redactions, still interesting. And I still have another one in the queue. I'm editing when I got these. It's about a victim's mother on a different case, Molly, the ex-nanny in Ohio that I've been telling you guys about. A victim's mother contacted me. So let's talk about all that coming up. Thanks so much for watching.